Kelly's wordy reactions. Okay, so I have some more updates for us. So let's go ahead and get into these. All right, so all these are within the last 30 minutes, I would say. Kind of let them gather up a little bit. So I have one from Ben Cesario, who's reporting from the courthouse. And he says, Garagos, one of Combs' lawyers, is zeroing in on the security footage of Combs beating Cassandra Ventura in a hotel hallway in 2016, which was shown on CNN and will be a key piece of evidence in the case. Garagos acknowledges that the video shows Combs's violin violin toward her, but that the full footage, including scenes that have not been shown publicly before, will portray it as the result of a quarrel over infidelity in their relationship, which was discovered on a cell phone. The video is overwhelming evidence, or this is in quotes, the video is overwhelming evidence of domestic violence. Garagos says, but it's overwhelming evidence that is domestic violence is over a phone and not over ex trafficking. Let me go over that again. He says the video, in quotes, the video is overwhelming evidence of domestic violence. YouTube language, right? Garagos says, but it's overwhelming evidence that this domestic violence is over a phone, not over ex trafficking. Okay, so that is that one update. Now, got another update coming in from Julia Jacobs reporting from the courthouse. And she says the defense is repeating a description of the accusers at the center of the government's case as, in quotes, capable, strong adult women. They are pushing the idea that these women, who they describe as girlfriends of Sean Combs, were involved in consensual ex-relationships. In quotes, being a willing participant in your own ex-life is not ex-trafficking. Garagos, Combs' lawyer, says of a woman being referred to as Jane, one of two women at the center of the government's main ex-trafficking case. Okay, so that's our update from Julia there. And then the next one is coming from, let me see. Let's see. Have I read this one? Okay, again from Ben Cesario, reporting from the courthouse. Tenny Garagos, one of Sean Combs' lawyers, is now addressing Jane, the pseudonymous witness that the government contends was a victim of ex-trafficking. Jane had a relationship with Combs after Cassandra Ventura left in 2018, Garagos says, and she was older and had a child. She was a willing participant in their threesomes and other sexual encounters, Garagos says. The evidence is going to show, in quotes, let me start that over, in quotes, the evidence is going to show you a toxic, dysfunctional relationship between two adults, Garagos says. In quotes, you may think, wow, that is a really bad boyfriend. But the evidence will show you a capable, strong woman willingly engaged in their relationship, she adds. And in quotes, that is not ex-trafficking. Hello, Sivarum. Hi. Thank you for joining in today. Okay, so the next update is coming again from Ben Cesario, reporting from the courthouse, and he says Sean Combs' lawyer is now trying to suggest that the women accusing him of abuse may have a motive other than simply recounting that same thing. She brings up Cassandra Ventura filing a civil lawsuit and says that the singer did not report the alleged incident to law enforcement. In quotes, when these people testify, ask yourself why, the lawyer, Tenny Garrigo, says. In quotes, for many of them, she adds, the answer is money. And then the next update coming again from Ben Cesario, reporting from the courthouse. Sean Combs' defense has completed their opening statement, which lasted about 50 minutes. This was as of 12 minutes ago. Lasted about 50 minutes. The judge has the judge has excused the jury 1 hour for lunch and is now discussing some details about evidence with lawyers from both sides before the trial is adjourned. And the latest update about 10 minutes ago, again from Julia Jacobs, reporting from the courthouse, says, in the defense's opening statement, Sean Combs' lawyer argued that while he was responsible for domestic violence and jealousy-fueled disputes with former girlfriends, his conduct did not amount to the alleged crimes at issue at this trial, racketeering and ex-trafficking. The lawyer, Tenny Garrigos, implored jurors to see that legal distinction and not to judge Combs for his unconventional sexual preferences, which she described as consensual threesomes by adults. And that was in quotes. As for the government star witness, Cassandra Ventura, Garrigos sought to undercut her testimony by noting that she had stayed in the relationship for over a decade. Okay. All right, so let me do one more check for updates. That was the last update. The jury has gone to lunch. I am in the United States, and we are court watching basically this trial of Sean Diddy Combs, and basically reading out the updates from the trial, as there's no cameras or live streaming going on in the courtroom, no photography at all. So that's what we're doing. All right. Okay, well, thank you all for joining in, and I will see you in a little while when we get some more updates as the jury comes from lunch and they start the testimony again. All right, thank you all for watching. See you in a little bit.